blowing, belching, burping, farting, blowing, belching, lurching, lurching. All right. I need root beer.
Really? Give people a time to get in.
Hello, Linda.
Go get your root beer. Hello, Albert.
My man.
Are you gonna go get
My
root beer
man.
or not?
Hello, Becky.
Hey, Abraham and Becky.
Abe, my man. Be back in a second.
I'll be back in a second. Gonna get his root beer. Hello, Linda and Heather. What time is it? 8:30 almost Central Time on a Wednesday night. Alan and I just got back from doing a pop-up for Emma Kelly and me at AC Hotel Dallas, AC Hotel by Marriott Dallas. Hello, Lake Charles, Southwest Oklahoma. I love when people say where they're listening from. I really appreciate that. That's fun. First time to log on, Kelly Franklin. Well, welcome. It's Kelly Franklin's first time to log on.
Who's?
Kelly Franklin. Pop-up went very well, Heather. Thank you for asking.
We have a new.
It's our very first time doing it.
We have a new attendee in the live studio audience.
Yep.
She has to get up and sing in front of everybody.
Odessa, Texas in the house.
Odessa, Texas.
Yeah, it was new for us. We'd never done a pop-up before. They asked us on Monday and wanted us to come Tuesday, but my day, Tuesday, wouldn't accommodate that. So we made it work for today.
Oh, Tiffany?
And now
Christina?
I am deliriously tired
Michelle?
and a little buzz from a martini. And after this podcast, I have to get a shower. I might wait and do that in the morning, though. And I have to pack. I'm
Hector.
going to New Orleans.
My man.
My husband's just ignoring me. I'm going to New Orleans tomorrow after the show
The Big Easy.
because we're doing the show from New Orleans on Friday.
Crescent City.
Why is it called the Crescent City?
I think because the end of
Is
New
it shaped
Orleans
like a
is,
crescent?
yeah. Like,
Or do they like?
somebody from the Big Easy, let us know, but I think that's why. Oh,
But I am Two Drink Kelly tonight. But I'm not Fun
Jacked.
Kelly. You know, Two Drink Kelly is usually Fun Kelly. But when Kelly's tired, it just makes her more tired.
You know what makes me tired?
Talking about yourself in the third person.
Yeah.
But people call me Two Drink Kelly. Odessa. Let's talk about this morning, Kelly. Froggy coffee?
Excuse me.
What does froggy coffee mean? What does a frog coffee mean? Garden City, Kansas. Alan looking jacked in your Star Wars shirt. You were wearing that Star Wars shirt the last time we did the podcast too, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm looking.
Thanks, Andrea.
I'm looking. Hold on.
Patrick Fogerson's first time to log
Jacked?
on as well.
Is that what that means?
I
What
think
is-
he's just been pumped up. Yeah.
Like all
It's
like
Patrick Ferguson's first time too.
my man. Like I'm all puffed up. Like that's what my boys do to me. They go, like, what are you doing? Why are you puffing up at me like that?
What does froggy coffee mean? Or does it mean you're here for the tea? That's Kermit and you're here for the tea? Is that right, Eric? I was thinking it was frog coffee, but I think it's Kermit the Frog here for the tea.
Hello,
right?
Mel. Good evening, Angelia.
Are you talking about the butt slap thing? I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Ah,
Eric said, yes, here for the tea.
yes. Yes.
Thank you, Melanie. We love
Yeah.
you.
Hello, Mel. Love you.
Nerd.
Wouldn't be a podcast unless you were here. That's for sure.
Very tired. So let's get started. I guess I should have the details. If we're going to talk about that butt slapping thing, I need to know what I'm talking about. Let me get that pulled up real
You
quick.
know what? I'm going to slap you on the butt right here on the podcast. That's what I will do.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was up with Al's Hallmark story?
It was awful.
Why did he do that? Huh?
Yeah, it was awful.
What? Why did he just talk about his bar? Huh?
It was awful. It didn't help at all.
Thank you, Stacy Rush Hutcherson. Sorry. Stacy Rush Hutcherson. That's a tongue twister, Stacy. Say Stacy Rush Hutcherson 3 times.
Stacey Rush Hutcherson, Stacey Rush Hutcherson, Stacey Rush Hutcherson.
See, you didn't do it.
Close.
It's Hutcherson. Yeah, exactly, Mel. It's because it's
Stacey Rush Hutcherson, Stacey Rush Hutcherson, Stacey Rush Hutcherson.
It's not Hutcherton.
I said Hutcherson.
No, it's Hutcherson.
Oh, Stacey Rush Hutcherson, Stacey Rush Hutcherson, Stacey Rush Hutcherson.
Say the sheik's 6th sheep's sick.
That's not even a sentence.
Yeah, it is. The
No,
sheik. He has sheep.
Well, it's literally pronounced shake.
Okay, we'll say the sheik. His 6th sheep's sick.
The sheik's 6th sheep is sick.
No, not is sick. Sick. The sheik's 6th sheep's sick. Say it 3 times real fast.
The sheik's 6 sheep sick. The sheik's 6 sheep sick. The sheik's 6 sheep sick. That's pretty good.
All right, we're gonna do this, or
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're gonna read YouTube.
I'm ready. I was just trying to find a story, but I can't really find all the details. But what do we know? We don't know all the details anyway.
Well, we have the main.
We have
details.
the basic. We have the gist of it.
Abe says it's chic. It's not shake.
I've heard shake.
Appearing on CBS this morning, she said she hasn't decided if she's willing to accept the runner's apology. He took my power, and I'm trying to take that back. Whether I am open to it or not, I want to take my time with that. 43-year-old Tommy Calloway is a married father of 2. He's a teen church youth minister and a Boy Scout leader. I read him the reporter's outraged social media post. Alex said, quote,
Sorry, we're watching this so I can talk about it.
TV, you violated, objectified, and embarrassed me. No woman should ever have to put up with this at work or anywhere. Do better. Your reaction?
I totally agree 100% with her statement. And the 2 most important words were her last 2 words.
Well, all right. We're ready. We're going to do it. Hello. A nervous first-time flyer? Why would you be nervous, Jacob? The odds are better for you landing in a plane than it would be for you getting there in a car. You could always, have a little vodka treat too. That sometimes helps. Ready?
Hello from Burleson. Burleson in the house. Sunny? Thank you. All right. All right, give me a little something else.
Test 1 2 1 2 testing.
Benjamin Insider, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Ben Insider, please pick up the red courtesy phone. Ben Insider.
See, I feel my ears have been assaulted.
I can assault him a lot worse than that. Trust me.
I know. You ready?
No.
Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. Thanks for joining us. No matter what time of day you're listening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Kelly Raspberry Evans. This is my husband and co-host, Alan Evans.
Hello, Alan. Hey, Trey, in the house.
We just got home hanging out with J Train in the house.
J Train was in the house.
He was in the house.
As was the L Train, the Laura Train.
Yep, we had and the A and another A Train, Ashley Train, and M Train, Michael. Why is everybody Train? I don't know. But we just a really quick side note. Alan and I just returned from our very first Emma Kelly and me pop-up shop. Never had done it before. It was the first time, so it was really nice to have some of our friends and our podcast family come by and support us.
It was at the AC Hotel Dallas. And they asked us just a few days ago to do this.
They asked us like 2 days ago.
2 days ago, and we huddled up as a team and
Made
said,
it happen.
"Can we execute?" And we said, "Absolutely, we can execute." Everybody wants a piece of this championship. Put it in here. 1, 2, 3. EK and me.
Yeah.
And then we broke huddle. Everybody did their little job.
Nobody patted each other on the butt, though. No, none of that. It was just go team. Keep your hands to yourself. That's what happened.
No. We all had our body condoms.
None of that.
No.
I did not feel objectified in the slightest.
No.
But yeah, it was fun and it was a learning experience. Everything for us with Emma Kelly and me is a learning experience. And we just got through our first pop-up shop and that's now under our belt.
I will say it was a success.
We have now Emma Kelly purses represented in LA and in Miami. That's literally the two opposite coasts.
We had a customer from
yes.
LA and one from Miami.
Yeah.
And some of the hotel staff decided to buy, which was wonderful. Thank you, AC Hotel.
Yeah. So a lot of the gold, I mean, not that I'm doing a little side commercial here, but if you want to see what they bought, you can go to ekme.com. We were selling clutches and crossbodies, and they bought the gold ones. Are really popular. We're running really low on those now. But yeah, it was fun.
Well, I just felt so official. I had my little wireless square reader.
You look so handsome.
Oh, and then if somebody wanted to pay me, I just took their credit card.
Did you tap or swipe or insert?
Well, I prefer to insert, but sometimes I tap.
Yeah.
Sometimes I swipe.
Yeah.
But most of the time I inserted.
Yeah.
Actually.
Very effective.
Chip cards.
Very effective.
Chip cards. Yeah.
So anyway, that's just a little brief side note. That was just one thing we have going on. Very, very busy season of life for us, Alan.
Season of life.
It's a season, we go through seasons of life. Right now we're in a busy season.
Oh, fourth quarter?
Or, just the time of life.
December?
I've got to, after we finish the podcast, I've got to go pack for another trip I'm taking out of town. I've never traveled so much in my life. This has been the year of travel, hasn't it?
Freaking platinum, babe.
I know. I should be, but I'm not.
I mean, your arm's got to be tired. You're flying so many places.
Can't quite get to that status yet where I'm, get to check a free bag. But it's coming. I can feel it.
You got to fly a lot more than you do to do
I
that.
know. I thought I lied, but it's still not enough to get that.
No. Oh, no. You got to fly, what is it, for gold? Well, it used to be called gold on American. I don't know what it is now.
I don't know.
One World
It's still, I think
One World Ruby or something like that.
I got an email today and said if I pay like $3,000, something ridiculous like that, I could be gold status. And then I could check a bag for free. And I'm doing the math. I'm like, nah, that's not worth it.
Oh, can I just make a few observations about, just back to the pop-up shop real quick? So I was observing everybody who was helping tonight.
Yeah.
And when a potential customer would come to the table, it was interesting watching your approach versus Jeff's approach versus Ashley's approach.
Yeah, Jeff, Bad Influence Jeff, our friend, just showed up and decided he's going to help us sell some purses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's doing a great job.
I mean, he'd hit on women in the hotel, get them over to the table, and before you know it, they're buying a purse.
Yeah, we love that.
I was like, there's one of our best salesmen right there.
Yeah.
But then I noticed you were very...
What's my technique?
Well, you wanted to educate the customer on all the features and benefits.
Quality of the bag they're receiving.
Quality, how it was constructed, where it was constructed.
That's right.
The lining, the story behind all of it.
Is that not what I'm supposed to do?
No, that was great. I'm just saying that's what I noticed you do.
Were you pleased?
I was very pleased.
What are you doing?
And then when you packed up the purse, you would pack it and very nicely put it in the bag.
I tried.
Your little tissue, and it was all very nice. I was just the a-hole swiping the credit cards.
That was a very important part.
Yes.
Well, thank you. It was a team effort.
And then Ashley, what was Ashley's approach? She was always parked by the charcuterie.
Alan, we were all parked by the charcuterie.
I was over there with her.
Man, I don't care how good you're being. If there's a good charcuterie board, I'm all about it. Shove some meat and cheese down my throat all night. It was good. It was good. But anyway, we've got other stuff to get to tonight besides all that. The big controversy, we talked about it on the Kid Craddock Morning Show. Nationally syndicated Kid Craddock Morning Show. And the big controversy right now is the reporter who was, doing a live report from the end of a marathon, and a man jogging by slapped her on the booty. And she's right. That shouldn't have happened. It was not right. But she's considering filing criminal charges. He's publicly apologized. It was a big conversation we had on the Kid Craddock Morning Show this morning. We'll probably talk about that a little bit on the podcast tonight. And you also have some listener mail, I believe, we're going to get to.
We have some mail. I have something we may or may not get to. It's from an Inc.com article. I always kind of like these type of things this time of year as the year closes and we're coming to the end of a decade.
Isn't that crazy? We're coming to an end of a decade. I love lists.
People love lists.
I love lists. I love making to-do lists and crossing things off, but it's also very interesting to look at, what was the most popular whatever from the year and now from the decade, because we are starting not just a new year, a new decade. Isn't that crazy?
How wheels off is this to think about? That freaking the year 2000. Remember Y2K?
Everybody was so panicked.
That was 20 years ago.
Years ago. Oh my gosh. When you really think about that, how crazy that is. I remember exactly where I was. I wore the big stupid glasses. Well, they're not stupid. People wore the 2000 glasses. Now they're 2020 glasses. We were talking the other night. My girlfriends and I were at dinner and everybody's like, why is everybody doing these roaring 20s parties for New Year's Eve? Everybody's doing roaring 20s parties. Not one of us put two and two together. It's like, oh, it's because we're going into the 20s. It took a minute for that to click for us, but we're not hosting a New Year's Eve party this year, Alan.
You turned that down.
I turned that down in January of 2019.
You said no.
Alan and I, well, here's the deal. Alan and I, I've hosted a New Year's Eve party for the past several years. It's been great. But this last year, Alan and I had both been battling the stomach flu.
Oh, gosh.
Possibly food poisoning, but I think it was stomach flu.
We were so sick.
We were really, really, really ill. And like the day of the New Year's Eve party, which would be New Year's Eve day, we were both still just lying on the couch thinking, oh my God, how are we going to do this? We were on the tail end of it. So we went to the New Year's Eve party.
The tail end.
Yeah, literally.
Being the key words.
Neither one of us, I think I ordered a vodka just to kind of like try to get myself in the mood. We didn't drink. We kind of danced. We were both just not feeling well. And so as soon as the New Year's Eve party was over, like literally the first week of January, they wanted to go ahead and commit me to the next new year. And at that point I was like, no, I can't do this again. And so they said, you have to make the choice now. I said, well, if you're going to make me make the choice now, then the answer is no. And so that's where it stands. We're not doing anything for New Year's Eve.
No, we have.
Are we literally going to stay home?
I don't know what we're doing.
We have the kids.
Yeah.
What do you do with the kids? Now, when I was a kid.
They're going to be asleep.
No. Well, what you do is you try to, they want to stay up to midnight. I remember Emma Kelly did when she was really young.
Boys can't do that.
Possibly, because New Year's Eve is a big deal. But when I was a little kid, my daughter thought it was just so fun that we would, at midnight, bang pots and pans. You get spoons and you bang all the pots and pans. And it sounds stupid, but she loved it. And I remember the very last time we did it, she was so excited. We sat up and watched movies. It was hard for her to make it to midnight. Now she could do it because she's older. But we sat up and we got spoons and banged those pots and pans, just the two of us. But it's a great memory, so maybe we should try doing that this year.
Banging pots and pans, huh?
That's what we did.
Okay.
You got a better idea?
I can come up with probably 50 of them.
Going to bed?
Yeah, that's one of the 50. I don't know what we're going to do.
Well, we got plenty of time to think about it.
Plenty of time to figure it out. Yeah. But attending some big fancy A party, I mean, that's probably out of the works now. Don't you have to be signed up for one of those by now?
They're still selling tickets to stuff.
Tickets?
Tickets. You know, we could just stay home. We could go to bed at a decent hour and ring in the new year wrapped up in our Brooklinen sheets.
Brooklinen.
I think that's a great way to end one decade and kick off the next in luxury sheets that we didn't pay an arm and a leg for. That's the beauty of Brooklinen. And look, we're heading into the holiday season. If you're thinking about giving the gift of Brooklinen sheets or giving the gift to yourself, Brooklinen is celebrating their days of gifting with daily promotions on different items. So it pays for you to keep going back and checking online. Look, it's time to get the ones you love or yourself with something just a little cozier. And Brooklinen is not just about sheets. They have not only the bedding, but they have loungewear, towels, and more. And this holiday season, let's go for comfort. Let's go for getting better quality sleep. I think a lot of life's problems could be solved if we're all getting better rest, don't you think?
Yes.
You're sleeping. You should
Sleep is vital.
You should make your bed your oasis. And so when you go to bed at night, you should be almost so happy you want to shed tears of joy and get the quality sleep you deserve. And you can get that with soft, comfortable, luxurious sheets from Brooklinen that you don't feel guilty about crawling into bed every night because they didn't cost you an arm and a leg. And remember, they do make great gifts, not only for yourself, but for maybe a newlywed couple or somebody that you just think deserves to have something really special in their lives.
Babe, do you like softness?
I do.
Okay. What about comfort?
I'm all about it.
Yes. Essentials to help you relax.
Mhm,
Well,
mhm.
Brooklinen has it all. And right now, Brooklinen.com is having their days of gifting, where each day they have promotions on a different surprise item. Brooklinen is so confident in their product that all of their sheets, comforters, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. Now, the only way to get access to Brooklinen's Days of Gifting event and free shipping is to go to Brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. And if you're just hearing this and it's after the holiday season, you can still use the promo code Kelly. Okay, KELLIE at Brooklinen.com for 10% off and free shipping anytime.
So you don't need to have that code before the holidays because that's part of their days of gifting.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I'm just reminding them. So after the fact, just remember to use that code Kelly.
That's what I just said.
I'm just reiterating.
Code Kelly at Brooklinen.com. Brooklinen, everything you need to live your most comfortable life.
We're all about comfort in this family.
All about it.
All about it. In fact, I don't want to do anything if I'm uncomfortable.
And if someone's uncomfortable, they're going to tell me about it.
You're talking about me?
Yeah. Like it's too hot or too
You said
cold.
someone.
Too
So
windy. Or
by someone, you mean me?
air's not moving or.
I am very particular about my comfort levels.
Oh,
I don't see the problem with that.
you're like a
delicate flower,
Yeah,
he used to call me.
delicate flower.
But when he was, when we were recording,
Like an orchid.
everything I did when we were recording, he thought was adorable, right? So adorable.
Hey, I could say the
And
same
then
thing.
once you're married for a year or two, then it's like nails on a chalkboard. Whenever I'm like, can you turn down the air?
No?
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Being misrepresented once again, listener. I very much enjoy being married to my wife. I love being married to my wife. I love my wife. I don't think anything.
Anything that isn't
Her description, the nails on a chalkboard. I've never used that description
I'm
in
just
reference
saying
to my wife.
I'm
before.
saying it's like nails on a
I've
chalkboard.
never said that about
What
her.
did I used to do?
I never would say that
Let
about
me just
her.
ask. And just be honest. What did I do when we were first dating that I still do? You used to find cute, but now you think it's annoying.
Stealing my food.
That you used to think it was cute?
Well, at first I was shocked, but then I thought, well, gosh, that was kind of interesting. Maybe she'll cut that out. No,
Oh, no.
didn't cut that out.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I just want to taste. That's the thing. It's with my daughter. When I take her, this is the thing with my daughter, and now she just doesn't even question it. When I take her through Chick-fil-A or Jack in the Box and she wants to get the French fries, the rule is I get one French fry. I just get one French fry. I don't want any more than that. I just want a taste of a French fry.
If I had
And she would get very upset with me at first. I'm like, I just bought you all that food. All I'm asking for is for one French fry. And
Say
now
we
she
went-
just gives me a French
say
fry.
we went somewhere like super salad,
Yes.
and I'm sitting there with a big bowl of tomato basil soup,
Yeah.
and you have a big bowl of broccoli cheese.
Yes.
And that's all I have.
Yeah.
And both bowls of soup get set down.
Yeah.
Are you going to, the first thing you're going to do is go over into my tomato basil with your spoon before you go into your broccoli cheese?
Probably. I'd say, oh man, that tomato basil looks so good. Can I have a taste of that? I might have gotten the wrong one.
Makes absolutely no sense. But
Because then every time you order food at a restaurant, what happens? Everybody's plate looks better than yours. That's just the way it is. You always look around and like, oh crap, I should have gotten that. It happens every time. It happened last week when we went out to dinner with those oh man, I need to send them thank you note. Crap, I'm glad I remember that. But everybody ordered these big, beautiful salads. Alan and I split a wedge, and I'm looking around thinking, dang, I should have ordered that other salad.
We did get screwed on the salad.
That happens every time. Did I reach over off their plates and ask for a taste? No, because I'm not married to them and sleeping with them.
And you didn't reach over on my plate because you had the same salad. And we had already split
Problem
it.
solved.
I'm going to start ordering everything you order You're going to have to order first. I'm going to order exactly the same thing.
That's what you did today for lunch.
Yeah, I did. See?
Is that on purpose, or you just liked what I ordered?
No, that's what I wanted.
Mm.
Because I had a big fat man moment at Papado the other day. I roll into Papado. Did I tell you what I ordered at Papado?
No.
This was the day before I was going to start back on my, not weight loss, but just eating healthy again program. So I thought, yeah, I'm going to have one more like really big lunch.
Blow it out.
Oh, and you were doing something. I don't know where you were. But I roll into Papado's, post up at the bar by myself. I'd like a bowl of the seafood, and not a cup. I want a bowl of the seafood and andouille sausage gumbo. Don't hold the rice. In fact, give me
Double rice?
Give me extra rice if you can.
Wow.
So he rolls that out. I'll take a dozen Gulf Coast oysters. Sir, would you like crackers?
I'll never
Absolutely, I want crackers.
I will never reach across the table for those.
And if any of you have been to Papado, you know the bread that they bring, the French loaf, and that salty butter.
Yeah. Oh, that salty butter. That's the key, right?
He goes, do you want the bread? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I bust out 12 oysters and crackers, a bowl of seafood gumbo, and an entire loaf of bread.
That's all you have?
Did you notice how it looked like I was about to die when I came home?
You're pretty
lethargic.
Cool. Yeah, that's the thing about you. You always order soup, no matter where we go. You always order a bowl of soup, and I don't like doing that because it fills you up where you can't eat the rest of your meal. But you still haven't learned that lesson, and you do it every time.
Yeah. But
let's get to more important things.
I've been eating very well since then. Been eating like a bird.
You have. You've been doing well. Except tonight, we had a little bit more.
We didn't like except tonight.
We had a cocktail tonight.
A couple pieces of sausage and cheese.
And a cocktail.
I had a cocktail.
Yeah, it was still a little off program. That's okay. Everything in moderation, right? You got to live a little during the holidays. All right. So the big point of controversy. I know, I'm just being silly. There was a reporter. I want to say, I don't have the story in front of me. Was it Savannah, Georgia, honey?
Yeah, it was in Georgia.
I think it was Savannah. And there was a big marathon. And as the people are coming to the finish line, a female reporter is, doing the story live on the scene. And people are running by, and they're all doing what people do whenever there's a live camera. They just act the fool. They come up behind her, hey, everybody gets on TV. Well, then one man runs by her, and as he's jogging by, he swats her on the butt and keeps running, and she's, it stops her in her tracks. She can't believe what just happened. It shocked her. And you know what? Female reporters have been, it's starting to become, maybe it's been a problem for a while, and we're just now drawing more attention to it. Like it's shark attacks. You hear one, there's suddenly 50 of them. It's like, oh my God, there's a shark epidemic. So perhaps, probably this has been going on for a while, but when there are people, live reporters on the scene, people do things that are inappropriate. You've seen the men come up and try to plant a kiss on a female reporter and stuff. It's not right. It's not right. So this woman, the female reporter, is very angry, and she posted on social media about how she is going to file charges against this man, and that, he needs to do better. The man came forward. And I got so many messages. One person told me it's being reported that he's a youth minister, that he's married with 2 children. And this woman just told me he's not a youth minister. She wants that to be straightened out. But I'm just telling you what somebody wrote me, that he's not a youth minister, that he's a single father.
And tell
and that he's
why,
a volunteer in the church.
Now tell this lady this is a good source, because tell how she knows this.
She said he's a volunteer in her son's church. And she's a single mom. He's been a great role model for her son.
She goes to church with the guy.
And she said now, though, that the church is receiving threats because of the association. And it's just really out of control. And we were talking about that on the radio this morning. And what he did was wrong. It was hard. But he's come forward. Everybody figured out who he was. You could see his face, and it didn't take, he had a number on. So people put 2 and 2 together with the man's name. And people are basically demanding his head on a platter. And I took the position that what he did was not right. But he apologized. He said, I was running in, caught up in the moment. I was going to do my hand in the air at the last minute. I just made a bad judgment call, and I swatted her. And he said, if I would have stopped and turned around and seen her face, if I would have seen how upset and and disgusted she was, I would have apologized in that moment. But I just kept going, not realizing that I had offended her so greatly. That he was apologizing. Now that was just, I don't know what's happened since that interview he did with Inside Edition. I know that she said she wasn't quite ready to accept his apology. She's still going to mull that over and consider her options. But my question was, what punishment is justified in that situation? Everybody was saying it's assault, that it was sexual assault, and that sexual assault needs to be punished to the fullest extent of the law. I'm like, we got to pull back a little bit on that and maybe use some common sense. I don't know this man, but if I'm going to go based on the reports that he is a youth minister who is a good citizen and does great things, or a parent volunteer that does great things and has a very clean record and really just did a stupid thing, had a stupid moment, and it happened to be caught on live TV, what should be the punishment for that? Should he go to jail? Should he be registered as a sex offender for the rest of his life and have to register and not be able to live near schools? You know, it's like, to what extent is the punishment? When can you just say, yeah, what you did was wrong. I accept your apology. Please don't ever do that again. Please understand I'm a professional person and this is my workspace and that's not appropriate. So the people I work with on the show were not in agreement with me. They thought he should be made an example, that he should be charged with sexual assault. I was just really kind of surprised by that. I think it's just a really extreme reaction to somebody's stupid decision. I used the argument he was caught up in the moment of the excitement, the live thing. And you know how athletes will pat each other on the butt all the time? I said, I kind of compared it to that. He was just caught up in the moment, the adrenaline. And I don't think he's like saying, ooh, I want that woman's piece. I want that piece of ass, and went after it. That's not what I thought his motivation was.
Got to change your voice on that.
I did a little bit. But they were trying to tell me that, well, what if somebody said the argument, well, what if somebody's just caught up in the moment and then it ends up in a rape? I was like, can you really compare the two? There has to be some common sense and some gray. There is no gray area. I kept hearing that. There is no gray area. It's black and white. I just don't think it's black and white. And now I'm going to let my husband, the man in this relationship, give me your opinion on this, because the people I work with did not agree with me.
Well, Kelly and I were talking about this on the way down to the pop-up in the car, and I heard all the conversation on the radio this morning. Right off the bat, I mean, I'll say that in today's environment, and I would even say this 10 years ago, it's never okay to touch somebody somewhere that like that
Right.
that you don't know.
It's true. It's wrong.
That's never okay.
It's wrong.
In any circumstance, no matter how caught up in any kind of moment you were, that's not something you should do.
Right.
I think we all agree
I
on
agree.
that, right? We all agree on that. Now, this guy runs by, slaps her on the butt, and this, I think what is amplifying everyone's anger and wanting to make an example of this guy is, number one, this kind of environment that we live in today, a lot of it driven by politics and a lot of the things that have happened with some people, some really bad people who have done some really bad sexual assault
And gotten away with it.
and gotten away with it.
Yeah.
And I think just it being on TV and in the public court, which is social media, and all of that judgment being thrown at this guy's way, it's just kind of created this firestorm. So, what the question is, well, how bad should the punishment be? So there's two sides to it, right? There's a legal part of it, and then there's a public part of it. I think his public punishment
Oh my gosh.
is going to far outweigh anything that happens on the legal side.
Yeah.
He slaps this woman on the ass. I mean, he's not going to get the electric chair, guys. he's not going to get sent to prison for 20 years.
Some people think he should be.
He's not.
They are like, it's sexual assault.
He's not going to prison for a year. He's probably going to have to do some community service, apologize to the woman, maybe pay her some money. But, I'm not a lawyer, but he's not going to go to prison for 20 years for sexual assault. That's just not what's going to happen.
Yeah, I just don't understand where people can't just make mistakes and just be like, oh, God, let it be a humiliating, awful lesson learned.
His embarrassment, his job will probably be affected. His children know about this. All his friends and family know about this. For the rest of his life,
he's going to be that guy.
He's going to be that guy. He's going to have people see him, say things to him about it. He's going to be harassed online. And I'm not saying, there shouldn't be any kind of punishment for the man. But
when is it enough?
He will be punished for this.
Yeah.
Okay. And what gets me sometimes is hearing people with kind of this holier than thou, I never make a mistake kind of attitude for somebody who, this guy has no record that we know of.
I haven't heard.
For all accounts, he's
and
just this.
Tomorrow it could be a different story.
Yeah.
You could find out he's a horrible human being.
He's this just normal kind of guy.
From what I understand,
did
he's not.
Something stupid. Did something absolutely stupid. But it's not like he has some big track record of grabbing women's butts or sexual assault or anything like that. He did something very stupid.
Juvenile, stupid.
We get it. But man, for people to sit on their high horse and say, well, he needs to go to prison for sexual assault, and it's like, what are you talking about?
I don't. We've lost our common sense.
Yeah,
I think that's just basically what it is.
Everybody, listen to this podcast right now, me included. Kelly has made stupid mistakes in our life, and we will always make stupid mistakes and do stupid things. And you look back, you're like, well, that was the dumbest thing I could have ever done. Why did I do that?
I didn't get killed. Thank God I didn't get. How many times was I, we blame victims a lot of times. Well, you shouldn't have left the bar with him. You shouldn't have done that. Can I tell you how many times I left the bar with someone I shouldn't have left with? And by the grace of God or whatever, I didn't have any serious consequences. So we've all made mistakes like that. And by luck, grace, whatever you want to call it, we haven't had to suffer any long-term consequences.
Now,
but we all make stupid mistakes. It's just like, it's this level of righteousness and the high horse analogy you just gave. That's what it is. I just don't understand where that's coming from.
Now, let me also say that the woman, she didn't ask for any of this.
No,
she's just standing there doing a report.
No, but she's going to capitalize on it.
Well,
it's good. Let's just be honest. It's great for her career.
Okay.
Let's be honest. As far as she takes it, this is, what is she going to do with it? She's not going to accept his apology. She's going to mull it over for a while. This could be a career boost for her.
Okay.
Ultimately,
well, I don't know anything about that.
That's not her motivation. Yeah. She didn't ask for it. But I'm saying, if she is a smart person, she'll use it to her advantage career-wise.
I don't know this woman, but I'm just saying that she was the person that this happened to.
Yeah.
Whether you call her a victim or not, whatever you want to call her. She's the person this happened to. She didn't ask for it, and now she's in the middle of it. And she didn't ask for this. She's just standing there doing a report. So, I'm. This is a really tough one. I don't know that the guy should go to prison. He should have some kind of punishment legally. But for people, I've heard a lot of opinions on this, and for people to sit up on their high horse and say, he needs to be made an example of. That's a bunch of bull. That's a bunch of crap.
You don't ever want to be the one that they use for the example.
Especially for something.
That's not what you want to be.
For something like this, he did something stupid. He slaps her on the butt. You know what we have in Texas to make examples out of people? It's called the death penalty. And if you kill a cop or you kill multiple people or some heinous crime, sometimes you get sentenced to death here in Texas. Now, there's a lot of controversy on the death penalty, and is it a deterrent for murderers? Does that deter murderers?
I don't see that it's a deterrent. I don't think the death penalty is a deterrent.
So that's a whole nother subject.
I don't think it's a deterrent, but I am also pro-death penalty.
That's the argument I've heard on this one is, well, he needs to go to prison for 20 years to make an example out of him so
No.
other people won't slap reporters on the ass.
No.
You think that's going to deter
No.
anybody from doing something stupid
That's why
10 years from
That's
now?
why they have levels like of robbery. There's like petty theft and robbery and armed robbery and stuff. If it's just like you swipe a piece of candy, well, you stole something, just like you're just as guilty as everybody else has stolen something. There has to be levels of what's considered, what is the appropriate punishment. It can't just be a blanket, that sexual assault across the board done. There has to be levels of it, right?
Yeah, and I think this has to be handled, it's going to have to be handled legally.
Yeah, well, or does it? If she doesn't press charges, then it won't be handled legally.
Yeah, then they can go about their merry way. And then what you have there are two reasonable people. One says,
Right.
I screwed up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I screwed up. I should not have done
Right.
that. And I'm going to pay for it the rest of my life. I'm really sorry about that. The other one says, understood, forgive and forget. I was really embarrassed. You should never have done that. Don't do it again.
Right. I think they need to have
go about your business.
And some TV show, Dr. Phil or somebody probably will end up getting them both in a room face to face where that can happen. Now, she does not have to accept his apology. That is her choice to do that. But I think we do have to allow people who screw up. We're in this, the big trendy word right now is the cancel culture, where you just cancel somebody. They screwed up, so you're done. Your career is done. You're not allowed to make a living. You're not allowed to have another happy day in your life because you screwed up. We have to get past that. We have to be able to let somebody who is truly sorry, who is truly remorseful, you have to be able to forgive them and let them move on. And that just goes to show from his actions from here on out, right?
Yeah.
Case by case basis. It's a very touchy subject and people have a lot of opinions about it, including me and my husband.
Yeah. I just, you feel bad for both parties. You really do. Because I don't think either
Yeah, she didn't deserve to get slapped.
No, she didn't get to No, of course
she's
not.
doing her job and she's a professional woman. And I think women do have a little bit harder in situations like that. It's just true. Women are objectified and, talked down to and put on in a little corner. And I think that's wrong. That's wrong. Should not have happened. But I also don't think he needs to be crucified for this. He needs to be called on the carpet and corrected and get a very firm talking to. But he doesn't deserve to lose everything, right?
Yeah. I don't think so, but he's going to lose enough as it is.
Yeah.
He's going to lose a lot as it is.
He already has. All right, so we're going to move on to other subjects. We've got other great things to get to, but first, I don't think I should talk about, well, let me do this instead. You know what? If you've been listening to our podcast for a while, you've heard us talking about Framebridge. I was just talking to my husband about this today. What were you saying you wanted to send off to Framebridge?
I have a lot of things. I got a jersey.
The napkins.
I've got napkins.
Tell them about the napkins you're going to send to Framebridge.
Oh, I've got Troy Aikman, Emmett Smith, Daryl Johnston, Cowboys legends. These are valuable napkins.
Little cocktail napkins.
Only one company I trust with these things, Framebridge.
That's right. Framebridge, you can, like, if you have digital things, you can just, upload things digitally. You can mail them photos if you need to. I had a big print that I was going to have framed for my niece. I sent that off to Framebridge. You can order like the football jersey Alan was just talking about, or these napkins. You can let Framebridge know what you need to have framed, and then they will send you the right container for it. You send it off to them, and they send it back. It's really an easy process. If you're not really sure about your taste, like sometimes I just need to be validated that, yes, Kelly, you're making the right choice. That's the right frame. Framebridge has people, they have design consultants that will help you every step of the way. It's such a beautiful process, an easy process. The delivery, it's a beautiful presentation. I'm all about presentation. And Framebridge, they take care of every little detail, right to a little personalized note they include in your Framebridge box. If you're looking for great gifts to give this holiday season, it's not too late to take care of this. A handmade personalized gift from Framebridge start at just $39. And all shipping is free. And plus, we've got a very special offer for our listeners.
And you can become a gift-giving legend by using Framebridge to give high-quality, one-of-a-kind gifts that you can order in minutes. Go to framebridge.com and use promo code SANDWICH. you'll save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code SANDWICH. That's framebridge.com, promo code SANDWICH. Love Framebridge.
We do. We use them all the time.
Use them all the time. One of our long-standing partners, too. All right, babe. What are we going to talk about now?
Well, you said you had some
Oh, I got some
listener mail. Speaking of our
letters.
longtime partners,
Letters.
our listeners are our partners, right? We couldn't do the show, do the podcast without our listener partners.
Actually, they're our customers. They
They're our family.
They consume this content. Hopefully, they like it. If they don't like it, we're not going to do it anymore.
You know what? We might have made some people mad with this podcast, but you know what? We're family. And sometimes family can disagree, but that doesn't mean we don't all love each other and respect each other, right?
That's the thing.
You got to respect each other's opinions.
Yeah, I mean,
different.
hey, you may not agree with what we say, and that's okay. You have an opinion, that's okay. It's really.
But you don't need to cancel somebody because they don't have the same opinion as you.
Well,
Wouldn't life be very boring if we all had the same opinion?
no,
Maybe wouldn't be boring?
I'm disagreeing with you.
Oh, thanks, babe.
I was doing a bit.
I didn't get it.
All right, babe. Here's a letter. This one's from Kayla.
Hey, Kayla.
Kayla says, "Hello, Kelly and Alan.
Why are you reading it like that?
I don't know. I'm having a problem here. I'm having a
Do
problem.
your readers?
I'm having a problem. I ordered me some readers for Christmas, and you're giving them to me."
That doesn't count.
Kayla says, "I started listening from the very first episode a couple of months ago. Wow.
Wow.
Because I'm OCD and I had to go in order."
Oh, sweet girl. Thank you.
And here's where it gets a little strange. "And I listened on 1.5 times speed so I could get caught up."
I do that. I do that on certain podcasts where their delivery is super, super slow, like on some of these crime podcasts. I try to do 2 times the speed if I can, but then it's too fast. But 1.5 really works.
"Now that I'm caught up, I went back to 1 speed, and I was wondering if y'all ever listened to your podcast."
I can't understand.
She says, "Now that I'm caught up, I went back to 1 times speed, and I was wondering if y'all have ever listened to your podcast on 0.5 speed."
No, I haven't.
Slow mo. It's so funny. It makes y'all sound like you're 2 slurring drunks. Well, you just listen to it on you just listen to it on 1 time speed for that. Like 2
Sometimes.
like 2 slurring drunks, and it makes me laugh out loud.
That's funny.
Of course, y'all are hilarious anyway, and so real, and I love you guys. Well, I'm going to put this one on the wall. This is like
Send it to Framebridge. You get it framed.
this is like an I love me letter. "I listen at work with my earbuds. People probably think I'm crazy when I bust out laughing, and I listen on my commute. You guys make the 45-minute drive go so much faster. Anyway, I work in the office of a trucking company, so keep on trucking, jive turkeys."
Yes, keep on trucking, drive, turkey. I love that. Keep on trucking.
That's Kayla from Chattanooga.
That's like one of my favorite things.
Chattanooga, Tennessee, babe.
We have a lot of loyal listeners in Chattanooga. Thank you for listening.
Okay.
And for listening to all of it. I was talking to somebody tonight about how people have been finding the podcast and they say, "I'm going to go all the way back and listen to the beginning." I'm like, "Ooh, sorry about that." Because, when we first started, not that we know what we're doing now, but we really didn't know what we were doing then.
Kidding me? Some may argue we know less now than we knew before. Okay, this one's from Elizabeth. Elizabeth says, "Good morning, Kelly and Alan.
Well, good morning or good evening, depending on where you are now.
I'm catching up on some of your old podcasts, and on episode 124. Wow. Do you know this is episode 199?
I did not know
We're going to do
that.
200, the next one.
What are we going to do to celebrate?
I don't know. We'll do something.
We should.
It'll be 200 next time.
Wow.
But she's back on episode 124. Alan, you made my day. Thank you, Elizabeth. You were going over things that you will not eat. Okay, yeah, I probably remember that. There were 2 things that I 200% support you on. I do not eat anything in the gourd family. Me either.
I don't know why.
I am
But
out.
My sister-in-law Lori makes an awesome squash casserole.
Oh. Out. No squash. No
Eggplant
pumpkin.
parmesan.
Yeah.
I love eggplant parmesan. It's so good.
You know why I think it is? Is it because when you
Is there texture?
when you cut anything open that's in the gourd family, it's all slimy inside?
No. Have I ever made you spaghetti squash?
I don't know.
That's in the gourd family, isn't it?
I don't think you have.
I'm going to make you spaghetti squash and see what you think.
She says, I do not eat anything in the gourd family. Pumpkin pie is an insult to pie. Agreed. The only thing is I will not eat any melon at all. I'm not a big melon guy either.
Well, you don't eat bananas.
Cantaloupe makes me want to gag.
How does she feel about bananas?
She doesn't mention the banana, but I'm out on the banana
love
too.
Melon. Y'all are crazy.
And the watermelon, I mean,
you don't like watermelon?
I liked the watermelon when I was a 10-year-old. I don't really like eating watermelon as an adult. It's kind of weird. Sit there with a big watermelon and stick your face in it, and then
that is heaven.
And then spit the seeds out.
You get seedless ones now.
And you know what whips me are the people that say, "Yeah, you ever? What's that stuff that
Tahini?
Yeah, you ever sprinkled that stuff on a watermelon?" I'm like, no, I don't even like eating a watermelon.
You're correct. I don't understand.
Why would I sprinkle seasoned salt on a watermelon?
I didn't even know you felt that way about it. This is news to me.
And then you invariably.
Why am I still learning things about you 2.5 years
and then you
marriage?
Inevitably, the word wouldn't be inevitably, you'll swallow a seed.
Well, it doesn't hurt anything.
And then you'll see that tomorrow.
What are you inspecting?
You gotta be proud. Guys, you get me on that one. You know what I'm talking about. Okay, she says, I don't eat any melon, period. End of discussion. I support you. I have your back. Y'all keep up with the great podcast. Love you guys. Love you, Elizabeth.
Maybe you and Elizabeth should do a podcast together.
Elizabeth gets me.
The melon haters of America.
You don't get me. She does.
Well, I get you to a point. I don't understand your aversion to melon and bananas.
Okay, this one's another food-related one. This one's from Amber. Amber says, hi, Alan and Kelly.
Hi, Amber.
She said my name first. First, I want to thank y'all for your wonderful podcast. Many times on my way to and from work, I laugh uncontrollably. Alan, I catch every lewd comment you make, and I crack up every time. Although I'm a 31-year-old female and I love making underhanded, lewd comments, it's just so funny to me when people don't catch them. I also have 2 young boys, a husband who thinks, and I have a husband who thinks feces and flatulence is the funniest thing ever. That may be where I get it from.
Why? I don't understand why you changed your voice for that.
Because she said feces and flatulence.
Why can't you say feces and flatulence?
I'm not going on the record saying that.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, I'm sending this email just to agree with you, Alan, on the ambrosia.
Oh God.
Thank you, Amber. Amber and Elizabeth.
You've handpicked letters that all kiss your butt tonight.
Hey, you want to go through all the letters?
I don't know how to check the email.
You go through all the letters.
I don't know how to check the email.
And you know what? You'll find our listeners are very supportive of me. Thank you. Thank you.
What about me?
They're supportive of you too, but you
would be some of those letters.
You would be surprised at how supportive they are of
Why
me.
would I be surprised?
You should be proud of your husband. Okay. I wanted to agree with you, Alan, on the ambrosia at church gatherings. I think you mentioned a couple of podcasts ago. I don't remember exactly if it was a Baptist church or another denomination.
Probably Baptist.
She's looking for a new church in Louisiana. I'm trying to paraphrase this one a little bit. She says she went to church, and one of the first things she sees is ambrosia. As I sat there eating it, I was giggling, trying to remember where I had heard that there's always ambrosia at a church gathering. Then it dawned on me it came from the podcast. Now that I think back to my childhood, I was raised Baptist, going to church in Lake Jackson, and my grandmother, and there was always ambrosia. I just remember as a child not eating it because of how weird and mysterious it looked.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for all you do and the many laughs during my long car rides. I look forward to hearing many more podcasts.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Amber. Love you. Support you too.
I guess I'll start paying. There's always a fruit salad. Is that what you're thinking is ambrosia?
No,
you think like anything that's in a casserole dish is ambrosia.
No, ambrosia at a church gathering, it's usually in a Pyrex dish. And it's
No.
Here.
Ambrosia's in a big bowl.
No, the one ambrosia I've seen is in a Pyrex dish. It's got whipped cream, tangerines,
It's like a fruit salad.
Marshmallows, like cream cheese. What else they dump in there? Pears. They might dump some apple slices in there. Maybe like a little sprinkle of cinnamon. It's just
And it's in a big bowl.
this big mishmash of just, you can't even tell, like, what is it?
I just looked at Wikipedia. Ambrosia is an American variety of fruit salad.
See? Tangerines, apples.
Most ambrosias contain canned or fresh pineapple, canned mandarin orange slices, or fresh orange sections,
Mandarin oranges.
miniature marshmallows, and coconut.
Whipped cream, coconut. Yes, they always have coconut.
Mhm.
And then the bit is, at one of the gatherings, there's always like 8 things of ambrosia. So everyone said, hey, did you try that ambrosia? Oh, yeah, I tried that one. Hey, did you try that ambrosia? Oh, which one? The green one or the peach one? No, the green one. Oh, yeah.
The green one
I gotta get some of that ambrosia.
pistachio.
Oh, the green ambrosia is a lot better than that red ambrosia over there.
Do you like it?
No, you know I don't like casseroles.
It's not a casserole.
Oh. I thought it was a casserole.
But they're usually in big bowls. And I love a good ambrosia. It's very light and fluffy. My mother makes, what do they call it? Pink fluff. Have you ever had pink fluff? It is delicious. My mother, I've always shared the macaroni and cheese recipe. I need to get the recipe for her pink fluff. I could just bury my face in pink fluff.
Whoa.
I think that's what she calls it.
I just bury my face in pink
I think
fluff.
she calls it pink. Let me see. I'm Googling. What is pink fluff? I don't know if that's just something she called it.
On the Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast.
I'm looking real quick. There it is, pink fluff. There's a recipe. It's a form of ambrosia salad. How about that?
On a Sandwich and Some Lovin',
What?
a Kid Nation podcast. Oh, you were just Googling something, so I had to fill in the time.
Well, yeah, this was. How about that? I'm going to see if my mom's pink fluff is better than this one that I just found with a 4.5-star rating on allrecipes.com. But it's delicious too. And it is the holidays, and we're getting ready to have to celebrate our pants off because, you know, we're both from previous divorces. We're together now. So we've got all these blended families, and we got to celebrate and honor and respect everybody's time. It's just like one of these great big dances we have to do every holiday season.
All right, last letter.
It's a lot.
Last letter. This one's from Cindy. Well, these others have been kind of silly. She's serious. She says, Alan and Kelly, I've started this email about 4 different times over the past week.
Oh.
I've questioned whether my email would even seem relevant by the time I found the right words to convey my thoughts, but here goes. I caught your YouTube podcast from last Sunday and watched with concern as Alan seemed forlorn. Yeah. Disconnected and clearly upset. You apologized at the end of the podcast and seemed emotionally described that there were some personal things affecting you. I've been a member of the podcast family from the beginning, listening sometimes live on YouTube or the YouTube playback that evening, and once again the next day on iTunes. I'm reaching out because in a strange way, I feel like y'all are family. When y'all hurt, we listeners hurt. When you laugh, we laugh. It's difficult to describe, never having met you, but I want you to know that whatever obstacles you face, y'all are never alone. We so genuinely appreciate how you share your lives. When I was suffering from postpartum depression, your podcast carried me through. It was the one constant that I could rely on to take me away from the hole that I felt like I was in. It was a peak of the sun on a dark day. Even now, if I'm ever in a funk, I can rely on the 2 of you to pull back the kimono and make me smile. Long story short, know that we reciprocate the happiness that you bring to us. We carry in our families, with our friends, and in our prayers for you. Know that when you are down, you are never down alone. We are here for you and praying that whatever adversity blocks your path, you have the courage and strength to make your way out of the foxhole. With love and sincere gratitude for the goodness you share, Cindy.
That's so nice, Cindy. Thank you. That means a lot.
So I thought that was nice.
It's really interesting, the position. I've done radio for so many years, and Alan and I have done the podcast now for about 2.5 years. And sometimes you can feel like, is anybody listening? Are we connecting? Are we just, sometimes you just feel like you're just talking and it's not really resonating or really making sense. And maybe we've just wasted everybody's time. Do you ever feel like that sometimes? But then what I've been finding is a lot of times, like Cindy said, it's like an escape. You're just listening to somebody else talk, and it can be about nothing in particular, but it's a diversion. And sometimes I wonder, why am I doing what I do? What am I here for? What is my purpose and stuff? And I think maybe my purpose sometimes is just to be a diversion for someone else. And that's not necessarily, that's a good thing, right?
That is a good
That's
thing.
really, when somebody says stuff like that, I'm really trying to let that resonate. That's a really big thing. And I appreciate you sharing that, Cindy. That means a lot. It really does. Because sometimes you feel like, oh, what we're doing is just silly and we're just talking. And then it means a lot. Thank you, Cindy.
No, it
and
it
and
does.
like you were saying, when Alan was having a really rough time, we're doing a lot. He, I think, is doing a lot better now. But, we go through stuff in our personal lives, but, we still have to do the podcast, and it's not always easy, but we're all family. We're in it together.
I do remember, Cindy, the one you were talking about. And like Kelly says, it's, she's been doing this her whole life. And I've just kind of been doing it the last 2.5 years, kind of, tagging along with her on the podcast. But I just feel like we've done a lot of really awesome things, and I'm not trying to toot my horn. I will make a point here. We've done a lot of awesome things. I think we make people laugh, and we make people cry, and
make people angry, maybe.
Make people angry and entertain, maybe, hopefully. And like we did with Kelly and Louise, we were involved in a small way, but they're now going to have a baby because of coming through the podcast and being part. We went on a vacation and had a great time and made friends with people who listen to the podcast. We've got letters over the years on how the things that we've talked about have helped you, or things you could relate with, and they distracted you, just like Cindy just said. I guess one thing I've always kind of struggled with internally, I guess, is how can I say this? I'm not trying to get emotional. It's Cindy, you said, some of the things we talked about have helped you. And you said you noticed on that one podcast, I seemed forlorn. And like Kelly said, I was going, and still am, going through some stuff. But
doing better, though.
That's one thing that's hard for me is I love that we're able to help people. But what's frustrating for me sometimes is I feel like I can't help myself.
Oh, babe. What do you mean by that, though?
Well, the things that I've been going through and have had to have help with,
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to get emotional. You know how I am.
And yet here you are.
No, I love helping people. I just wish sometimes I could help myself.
Baby, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
You have been doing so much better.
Oh, I know. I have.
Like I was telling Alan, sometimes, and I've dealt with depression in my life. I come from a line. My family has a history of depression, and a lot of it's a big buzzword right now, but it's a very real thing. And what I was trying to tell Alan is sometimes you have to go back to, because there was a time when you were on top of everything. Remember, we were talking about how great things were. And I said, you need to just go back and do everything that you were doing when you were feeling great. Do those things again. Because when you're going through depression, suddenly you were just so passionate about going to the gym. Well, that stopped. You stopped going. You were so passionate about, just everything you used to do when you were feeling great. Do those things again, because I do believe there is something to be said for faking it until you feel it. And sometimes it's a matter of just going through the motions. But I think you've been doing really great, babe.
I have. I didn't want to. Okay, here I am again getting emotional.
No, it's okay. But, I think you're very helpful, but you also went. You're talking it out.
No, no, it's frustrating because we talked about it back on episode 160 where we got a lot of feedback.
That was a pivotal show for the podcast.
Well, I talked about how I was on medication for like a decade, and then I kicked it at the beginning of this year. I got off of it, and then the year I was just cruising, and everything was going the right direction.
Until it wasn't. And there was a lot of discussion and consideration of Alan going back on the medication, but
Yeah, I didn't want to do it.
didn't want to do that. But like I also told Alan, there is no shame in being on medication if you need it. And if that's something that anybody listening, and sometimes it's not a long-term solution for people. I know my cousin, and I'm not saying names, I don't think she'd mind me sharing this, but she was going through just one family tragedy after another. And she was crying every day. And she went to a doctor and she went on medication for a season, for several months until she could get past the darkest times. And sometimes it's a temporary solution for people. But listen, sometimes people are in a position where medication just becomes a part of their life. And if that's the case, I don't judge anybody for that, including my husband.
No, I know, but
I don't know if that is what you need.
I didn't want to do that. But, I'm not too proud to come on here and say that I've been talking to a therapist, and it's like one of those things, like you just can't
Shake it.
get out of it.
Yeah.
You cannot shake it.
I know.
And it's frustrating.
I know.
I guess, I don't know what I'm trying to say other than I love our listeners. And hearing things like this, it's amazing because I'm like, wow, I'm a part of that. How did I get to be a part of this? How did I get
You're
to?
so lucky.
Yeah, I am. Like, how did I get to be a part of helping somebody get through postpartum depression? Or how did I get to be a part of helping somebody have a baby? It's like, wow, I'm just blown away that people would listen and then recognize that, But
then that makes you feel guilty because you're depressed when you shouldn't be, right? It plays on itself. Then you feel guilty for the depression. I used to feel guilty for my depression because I had no right to be guilty. I have no right to be guilty. Look at how blessed my life is and look how much worse other people have it. Why am I depressed?
It's just frustrating because there's so much good that we have going on.
It is.
There's so much good that we have going on.
But you're making positive. I mean, you just can't snap your fingers and be out of it. You're making positive things. You are talking. I stopped short of saying that. I want to make sure that came from you. You're talking to the therapist. You're getting back in the gym. You're starting to eat healthy.
Yeah.
I think we need to get our sleep back on schedule. We're not getting enough rest. But all those things work together. And I think you're going to be great, honey.
No, I am.
And I think you have come through the worst of it. You're doing a lot better.
It's a process, though.
It is. And some days are better than others.
I know when I shared everything back on that episode, it's not like everything was hunky-dory then. It's not like I was done then.
But you were coping with it.
This whole year for me has been a process.
Yeah.
And I think anyone who's been through these kind of things, knows that, it is a process. But then when something happens to you in life, sometimes it just, I don't know, it just turns you upside down,
Yeah.
It's just frustrating. I don't know how else to describe it.
Oh, don't get upset again.
No, I'm not. I'm not. It's just, I don't know. On one hand, I love hearing these. I guess on the other hand, it kind of makes me, I don't know, feel guilty in a way. It's like, I should feel a lot better that we're doing things like this or helping with things like this.
Yeah.
Versus feeling like I do now. Like, why? Why do I feel like this?
Wow. I thought you were doing better, but I guess maybe you were masking.
No, I am. It's just, I guess talking about it,
brings it back to the surface.
Yeah, it's not easy to talk about.
Oh, honey, I appreciate you talking about it. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, honey. I love you.
Love you.
Proud of you. You're doing good.
Yeah, I'm doing great. So anyway.
And, the holidays are just such a stressful time, and usually things that might have been bubbling beneath the surface suddenly explode, emotions, family tensions, drama, things like that. So, wow. I'm just like, we've been all over the place on this podcast, haven't we?
No, we have, but I'm just like anyone else, and Kelly and I are just like anybody else. There are things that happen to us and we go through, and we just happen to do a podcast where we talk about a lot, and it's out there in the public, and we have a lot of people that know about it. I guess that's what's a little different, is these aren't things I think that, a lot of people get to talk to on such a public level.
It's almost like therapy.
Yeah. But let me just finish by saying, guys, I'm good. Everything's going to be okay. I'm fine. So if you write me, don't don't be sad or too concerned. Everything's gonna be okay. It's just talking about it. I guess I just wanted to get that off my chest. That I'm so fortunate that Kelly and I do this podcast. We're able to help people. I just got to help myself.
You are doing that. But you are doing that. You are, honey. You are doing that. You're doing a good job.
Yeah.
It's going to get better.
Yeah.
It is getting better. It's going to continue to get better.
Oh, listener.
And we're doing it all together. That's the beautiful part.
You're probably thinking, what in the hell is going on with this guy?
Well, honestly, that kind of came out. I wasn't expecting that. I thought you've been doing great. So this is kind of surprising to me. That
I have, but whenever you review kind of where you've been, it's more like where I've been, not where I'm at right this second.
Yeah.
You remember back on that episode, I reviewed where I had been for 10 years. And then it brings back a bunch of things that are hard to think about.
Yeah. But you are doing better, honey. You are making positive. I think you're making positive steps towards.
Yeah, I think so.
Getting back to the good place again.
I just want to feel like me again. I really haven't felt like that in a while.
Hey.
I don't know, for like the last 2 or 3 months, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, well. We'll get through
here
it.
For you.
I know, babe.
I love you.
Love you.
I love you.
I love you too.
Well, we have one more sponsor we have to talk about. So we thank all of you for listening to us, and we do thank all of our sponsors for sticking with us. And one of them happens to be Third Love. I love my husband and I love Third Love. How's that for a transition? But you know what about Third Love? They believe that every woman deserves to feel comfortable and confident every day. We all deserve that, right? And with the right kind of support, Third Love is helping you do that. Their bras are designed to fit you, not the other way around. Designed with measurements from millions of women, because they have this wonderful thing called the Fit Finder quiz. You go on there, you just answer a few quick questions in about 60 seconds. That data will tell you what your right bra size is. You might find out you've been wearing the wrong size all this time. You get home at the end of the day and you can't wait to take your bra off and throw it across the room. You're wearing the wrong bra. So just do this favor for yourself. Go to thirdlove.com, take that Fit Finder quiz. And once you find out that maybe you're a 36 and a half, C and a half, maybe you're a half cup size. Wouldn't that be a miracle? You get the bra, you wear it for 60 days, wash it, put it to the test. If it's not the right bra for you, Third Love has the perfect fit promise. You can send it back. It's easy to do. And they will wash that bra and donate it to a woman in need. But I'll promise you this, Third Love is hands down the most comfortable bra you will own. Straps that don't slip. They have tagless labels. There's no itching. Super thin memory foam cups mold to your shape. Third Love is going to change the way you feel about your bras.
And Third Love knows there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now they're offering our listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/sandwich now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first order. That's thirdlove.com/sandwich for 15% off today.
Now, how do you feel about going from being so emotional to giving people a great deal on a bra?
I can do it.
You did it,
hey,
babe.
I can do it.
You did it.
I do just about anything on this
You
podcast. We can.
We've been all over the place on this podcast. But just know that Alan is good. Alan is
now, don't
good.
make everybody get all worried.
No, I don't want to leave everybody thinking that you're in a dark place, because I think you are in the best place you've ever been, but you're not in the dark place you were a couple months ago. You're getting better.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
You agree with that?
Yeah, for sure.
So we are making progress.
Yes.
But, I'll be honest, I was a little surprised that I guess this letter, and it was a sweet letter, and Cindy, I don't want you to feel guilty about sending it, but something about that letter just touched a place in his heart that brought this out. So I was a little bit surprised by that. But because I didn't realize you were still struggling as much as you are. So maybe you've been putting on a bit of a show for me as well. But I hope that you find me to be supportive because I
You are.
really want you to be. I want you to be back to feeling yourself.
You're very
and I want to be
supportive.
part of. I want to be part of that process as much as I can.
You are. You have been. Like,
I try really hard to
No,
be
Kelly's-
supportive.
Kelly's a great listener. She listens to me go on and listens to me talk about all kinds of things. Like, she'll just listen. She always has good input too. But sometimes you need to talk to somebody that's not your spouse.
It's objective.
Yeah, that's
and
objective.
objective. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't have a pony in the race, whatever they say, a horse in the race, whatever they say.
And and has talked to other people that have had the same types of things going on and get their viewpoint. But
yeah, because sometimes when you're going through something, you think you're the only one in the world when actually there's millions of people that are going through it. And that does help to know that you're not alone. And I don't want you to ever feel alone.
I don't, babe. I always used to think that talking about those things was the biggest bunch of crap, like talking about how you're feeling and all that. But the older I get, the more I feel like it's something you have to do. If you don't, you just can't figure it all out inside, You just can't keep it all bottled up inside. You have to talk about it. So that's what I'm trying to do. And sometimes I talk about it on the podcast and it gets me all spun up.
Well, you know what? That's a testament to our podcast family that you feel close enough that you can do that, right?
I do, because nobody ever makes me feel dumb. Like, we've talked about all kinds of things, and people will send me really, really nice notes, about, hey, I heard what you were saying, I've been going through the same thing, and, keep your chin up, everything will be okay, and you've helped me do this and that, and yeah, if we didn't get that kind of support, I wouldn't talk about those things.
Yeah.
I would just be silly all the time, seriously. If I
I
didn't
don't want that.
if I didn't feel like we had a supportive audience, I wouldn't share those things. But I do. I feel like I have a supportive audience. We have a supportive audience.
Yeah, we do. We appreciate it very much.
So anyway, there you go. There's a more positive way to end it.
Well, on that note, we do need to wrap things up. But I got a lot going on. I'm going to be traveling to New Orleans for an appearance with the Kid Craddock Morning Show. My daughter, Emma Kelly, is hosting a little boy-girl Christmas party at the house. She wants to do a gift exchange with those kids. We'll probably be talking about that in the next podcast. What else we got coming up, honey?
Oh, we got to get our Christmas shopping done.
Got it. Alan and I are actually having a date night.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to go on a date. We haven't been on a date in a while. It's probably going to involve some Christmas shopping, but that can be fun too. We might go see a Christmas movie and stuff. So we got a lot going on.
Well, I thought we'd go get you taken care of.
Yay! Take care of me.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. Oh, that's good. I didn't know we were shopping for me. I'll take care of everybody else. You just take care of me. But anyway, we thank you for spending this time with us on this podcast. We know we've been all over the place. Maybe made you mad about a couple of things. Maybe made you sad or think about a couple of things. But we're in it together, right?
That's right, man.
We're a podcast family. We appreciate you listening, and thank you so much for joining us for this podcast.
Life is a freaking marathon.
It is. It's not a sprint.
Sometimes I think about it, and it's like all these little races you're trying to win. These little short sprints you're trying to win, and like you lose a lot of them. But if you just step back and go like
look how far
way up and look down, it's like you've got this freaking marathon life. And there's going to be tough parts. There's going to be fun parts, but overall, it's going to be good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Overall, it's going to be good.
One day we'll be cruising down the highway.
Oh, in that Newmar King Air.
Newmar King Air. And I'm going to be looking over at you saying, I can't believe you made me sell our house to live in this thing.
With the hand-finished wood, hand-finished by the Amish.
Yeah.
Granite countertops.
Keep your eye on the prize, babe.
2 showers.
Keep your eye. 2 showers.
I don't know.
That fancy.
Whatever it had.
Keep your eye on the prize, babe.
All right, babe. Well, I love you desperately.
I love you too.
Thank you, listener, for listening to me blubber and sob on again.
It's been the most emotional year of a Sandwiches from Lovin ever.
Good night. I'm just going to start telling jokes on future podcasts.
Okay.
The whole podcast, just tell jokes.
Well,
we'll see how that goes.
You do a whole series of dad jokes.
Yeah.
People need some good dad jokes for the holidays.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for tuning in. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, Life is good when you have a good sandwich. Bye.
Oh, that was a sad bye.
That was a sad bye.
Bye. Oh, babe.
That was a sad bye.
Oh, Lord. You all right?
I'm fine. Just reading the letter.
Just hit you.
Yeah,
Sorry, babe.
it's okay. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Thank y'all for tuning in. Oh, Michael practically just walked in the door. Michael showed up for our pop-up shop and he walks into you crying. He probably doesn't have any clue what's going on right now.
Oh, I'm always crying about something.
Everybody's being so nice. Look at everybody, the nice comments. I just hiccuped out of nowhere. So the one night I need Michael to help me write the notes, he's not there. That's okay, Michael. Oh, you watched on the train on the way home? Thanks, Michael. What are we going to call this podcast?
Well,
Anybody have any suggestions for what to call
we
this
talked
one?
about the pop-up shop, then we talked about the butt slapping, then we talked about letters,
A sandwich and the butt slap heard around the world.
and then we got Alan's emotional state update.
Yeah, but we need a good title. A sandwich and some.
Pop-up shop?
That was such a brief part of the podcast. And some hot opinions and some what do we call it? Blame the women. They were awesome. We had dinner at the bar. Oh, y'all didn't go? Sam said, chin up, bro. Sam from New Zealand.
My man. My man.
Adam from New Zealand. Sam's mate. Sam, you're over there in New Zealand
you're
recruiting listeners for us. Thank you.
Spreading the word in New Zealand.
I don't know. Do you think a sandwich and some booty slapping, is that too insensitive?
Yeah.
That seems a little too insensitive, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want to discount what happened to her. It was wrong.
I don't think we did discount what happened.
No, I tried to reiterate the fact that I think what happened was wrong, but I think saying a sandwich and booty slapping might be making too light of it, right?
Yeah.
Aw, Michael, that's sweet. Okay, a sandwich and some emotional roller coasters. A sandwich and some.
A sandwich and a roller coaster ride?
And an emotional roller coaster. Maybe we should stop with I'll say a sandwich on an emotional roller coaster. Maybe I should get rid of the and some. Not have to always do that, right? A sandwich on an emotional roller coaster.
That's part of the brand.
Well,
a sandwich and some.
Well, you think people really look at the title descriptions as much?
They do.
Oh, nobody's helping me out with titles except for slapping. I don't want to do that. A sandwich and some emotions.
We've done that.
A sandwich and some coasters. A sandwich and some. This is hard sometimes. Honey, you want to read? People are writing nice letters. A sandwich and some feelings. Some touchy. A sandwich and some touchy feelies. A sandwich and some touchy feelies. Now that sounds gropey. Should Adam come to Dallas with me? Why wouldn't Adam come to Dallas with you?
Sure, Sam.
But when you're coming back. A sandwich and some emotions. How's that?
I think that's what you named another one.
I don't think so. Like Michael said, we're probably going to start repeating some titles and sandwiching some feels.
Why do I have these headphones in?
You going to say goodnight to everybody?
2021, Sam said he's coming back.
Oh, we got to wait till 2021.
It's a while, Sam.
It'll go by before you know it, Sam.
A sandwich with some touchy moments. I think that's the best one. I would just do that one.
Touchy moments.
Yeah, because it's the butt slapping and the. I don't know. You guys are the ones that are good at that. Yeah, Sam says, I gotta say, not bad. All right, guys. Well, it's late. You guys are up late.
Oh, I'll be up later. I might just go to bed and get up early like I did the last time.
Mel, Larry's been he's been okay. He's just, we crate him. So when we're not here and when we are here, we keep our eye on him. So he's not had any more accidents. I gotta stop reading those letters like that.
You didn't know it was going to trigger you.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Thanks for coming out. It's good to see you too, and glad you made friends. Those are a lot of good people there that came. So if you're connected with them, those are good people to know. And they're really, really nice. I thought it was a success, the pop-up. I mean, you can always sell more stuff, but I thought it looked good and it was fun and a few people buy some stuff, so it was good, right?
It was good. We were learning. We had to learn how to take payments through a phone. We'd never done that before. And, just like what to expect. We'd never done a pop-up shop, what we need more of, what we need less of for next time. So it was a great learning lesson. I'm telling you what, I've got a crick in my neck. It's killing me. Oh. I need somebody to come over and just pull my head out of my shoulders. Just like, that's what I need.
Pull your head out, huh?
It's just killing me. And I asked Alan to massage me. Here's Alan's massages.
Not true.
It's true.
It's not true. No.
This is Alan's massages.
No. I've
Is
never.
that enough?
I don't make that face. I don't do my hands like that. I'm being misrepresented.
Then show them how you do it.
No,
See?
I just do it real hard.
You don't do it hard enough.
Being misrepresented per usual.
Show them.
Come on, man. I'm too.
Show them how you do
I'm
it.
too bushed.
Show them. Do it hard. Do it. It's really the other side. Can you do my other side? The other side.
What?
Can you do this side? This is. Just do it hard as you can. Harder. Harder. You can't hurt me. Harder.
This is the bit,
Really,
guys.
do it harder.
This is what we do.
But it's not hard enough.
See, this is what we do. And then Kelly just repeats that. I get frustrated, and then I stop.
That's right. It's exactly what I told y'all.
No, most people would be very happy with this type of massage. Not you.
Because it's not hard enough. Thank you, honey.
Okay.
Oh, see? I didn't mean to stop.
Oh, well, you said thank you. I thought you were done.
Thank you.
Good night, Hector. All right. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.